Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would be thrilled to get us right back on track talking about exactly what we should be talking about. I rise today to oppose this bill. This legislature has a constitutional duty to fund the public schools. Every child in Wisconsin has a constitutional right to an adequately funded public education, and this legislature is failing to ensure that right. Across Wisconsin, 90 referendums are being proposed this spring to fund the public schools that this legislature has underfunded for over a decade. On top of that, one of the cities I represent is discussing if they will be forced to referendum this November. If Wauwatosa has another referendum on the ballot this November, that will be the second since 2018. That's 2 major referendums for 1 school district in my 3 terms in office. That's significant, and I think it's wrong. We shouldn't be here today with this bill in front of us. We should be here today funding the public schools instead of falling at the feet of your special interest groups. Whatever happened to the Blue Ribbon Commission? Where are those proposals? They were brilliant. Why is the bill here before us when we can't even get the recommended bipartisan proposals of the 2017 Blue Ribbon Commission? We keep waiting session after session for those proposals. Where are they? Where is the 90% special education reimbursement rate, like you do for the schools that are part of the special interest groups that have put this bill before us today? My constituents should not be faced with raising their own taxes because this legislature refuses to do its job and fund the public schools, because this legislature is influenced by special interest groups that seek to tear down public schools for their own financial benefit. While Wisconsinites want to save their schools, these referendums are a referendum on this legislature. We have not adequately funded the schools, and we have left Wisconsin families to pick up the pieces. Wisconsin families shouldn't have to do this. They have a constitutional right that we as a body swore to protect. This bill shows that we do have the funding capabilities to fully provide for our schools, and it is a political choice by Republicans to prioritize their own special interests over public schools. The referendums are a referendum on this legislature. Every child in Wisconsin has a constitutional right to an adequately funded public education. That is a constitutional right that this body is supposed to protect, but that this body has, for the last decade plus, refused to protect. We have failed to do our constitutional duty to fund the schools, and now families across Wisconsin will be voting on 90 referendums this April to raise their own taxes. Wisconsinites are faced with the reality that their schools have been underfunded for so long, they have to put the pieces back together. We have a constitutional duty to fund the schools, and we need to do our job. We can do our jobs. It's a matter of whether or not the Republican majority will allow us to. We are here today because instead of funding the public schools, the Republican Party is doing this. Mr. Speaker, the vote is no.